Hi there, my name's Simon Drew, and welcome to the Practical Stoic Podcast, where I give you practical Stoic advice for modern times. If you'd like to see more information about this podcast, or if you'd like to see more of my free resources, just go to my website. It's risetothegoodlife.com. But for now, I really hope that you enjoy this podcast, and if you do, then I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe on iTunes and leave a positive review so that more people can have the chance to listen to this great work. In many parts of the world today, people are looking for alternative frameworks with which to align their lives. We've lived in this bubble for so long that tells us that if we can have more and buy more and spend more and have more followers and live in a bigger house with a nicer car, then, and only then, can we have the true joy and happiness that we so desperately search for. But the sad reality is that this ideology just doesn't work. If you still believe that money, fame, and fortune will bring you happiness, then you're in for a big surprise, because there are countless examples of people who have spent their entire lives looking for fame, wealth, and so-called comfort, and have eventually wound up miserable, lonely, and dissatisfied. The truth is that we've all been lied to about what is essential in life and what is not. Life doesn't have to be complicated, and there is no great mystery to solve. In fact, some of the happiest people in the world are those who live in the most minimal of circumstances. And the best evidence of this could be the fact that in recent studies, suicide rates have been shown to be higher in wealthy first world nations than they are in poorer nations. I believe that this is because the true and timeless foundations of happiness and fulfillment have been lost and replaced with a mere illusion. But what if there was a belief system or a framework for your life that could grant you true happiness and inner peace at any stage of your life, no matter if you're rich or poor, lonely or surrounded by friends, in a great career or struggling to get by? Well, my friends, I present to you the ancient Greek philosophy that is Stoicism. Hi there, my name's Simon Drew, and I would like to welcome you to the very first episode of the Practical Stoic Podcast. I'm so excited that you're listening to this because I genuinely believe that Stoicism is one of the greatest philosophies for a well-lived life. And I believe that no matter what stage you're in your life right now, you can start using Stoic principles to amplify your happiness and fulfillment. So what is the goal of this podcast? Well, let's start with the name. I called this the Practical Stoic Podcast because, as I will discuss in episode 3, one of the core values of Stoic philosophy is this idea that philosophy should be used to help anyone and everyone to live a better life. It should not be concerned with meaningless semantics and wordplay, and it should not be boastful or elite. Instead, philosophy should be used every single day in order to make life better, or in other words, it should be practical. In this podcast, I simply want to help you to live a better life by giving you timeless Stoic wisdom that you can use every day to be happier, healthier, and better. But before I get into the main episodes, I'll be spending the next couple of episodes giving you a simple overview of exactly what Stoicism is, because some of you may already know a lot about Stoicism, but I'd like to lend a hand to those who might just be beginning to learn about this philosophy. And in the spirit of full transparency, I would like to point out that I in no way consider myself to be the greatest expert on Stoicism or philosophy. I have not read every single text on Seneca's life. I haven't got a degree in philosophy, and I won't be diving deep into every single detail or hidden meaning of Stoic teachings. As I have said, my goal is simple. It is to improve your life through sharing the words of brilliant philosophers and deriving from those words some form of practical and immediate application. Because this is my purpose, off the top of my head, I have at least 2 reasons to believe that the great Stoics themselves would approve of this podcast. First, a quote from Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers. He said the following, quote, "Philosophy doesn't involve exotic rituals, mysterious liturgy, or quiet beliefs. Nor is it just abstract theorizing and analysis. It is the art of living a good life. As such, it must be rescued from religious gurus and from professional philosophers, lest it be exploited as an esoteric cult or as a set of detached intellectual techniques or brain teasers to show how clever you are. Philosophy is intended for everyone, and it is authentically practiced only by those who wed it with action in the world toward a better life for all." End quote. So that's the first reason why I believe in this podcast, because my genuine pursuit is that of sharing wisdom with people with the hope of bettering their lives. I hope that I'll be able to achieve this. And the second reason why I feel like this is a worthy pursuit comes from a quote by Seneca, another great Stoic philosopher who I'll talk about in the next episode. He said that, quote, "Part of my joy of learning is that it puts me in a position to teach. Nothing, however outstanding and however helpful, will ever give me any pleasure if the knowledge is to be for my benefit alone." End quote. I too feel a strong desire to pass forward any great lessons that I learn in life or in study. Helpful information should be shared as widely as possible, and so I'm doing my part. So for now, thank you so much for joining me on this first episode. I hope that this podcast is valuable to you in the future, and I hope that I can help you to live a better life. For more information and for the show notes, you can head to my website. It's risetothegoodlife.com. There I have heaps of blog posts, another podcast called Searching for Good, and much more free stuff. If you would prefer to follow me on Facebook, you can find me at Daily Stoic Quotes or just my name, Simon Drew. On my Daily Stoic Quotes page, as the name suggests, I post an amazing Stoic quote every single day. So like that if you want to be inspired daily by the great Stoic philosophers. But for now, thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you in episode 2. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Practical Stoic Podcast. I really hope that it's valuable to you, and I really hope that it helps you to live a better life. If it has been valuable to you, please don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and leave a positive review. If you'd like to see more free resources, just go to my website. It's risetothegoodlife.com.